Hi everyone, this is Paul Isley from Rainforest Flora, and we're here today to discuss some of our beautiful Tillandsias. The first one I'd like to show you is down here on the wall. This is Tillandsia hondurensis. It's very rare in cultivation, very slow growing, and very beautiful. You can see the rose-colored inflorescences that come up from these plants. And then we have the very typical subgenus Tillandsia flower that comes out, the corolla, the 3 petal tubes that are blue, sort of a violet color, and then here are the stigmas that stick out. The pollen grains are yellow. This one over here didn't get watered, so it has, you can see more clearly the pollen grains on the anthers here. So, Tillandsia hondurensis. All right, now continuing on from our counter here in the retail area, we have a broad range of subjects today, so fasten your seat belts and let's go. We've got some fragrant plants, we've got some small plants, we've got some big plants, we've got some rare plants. So to begin, let me show you. This is a Tillandsia magnusiana in bloom. And you can see how beautiful the short inflorescence is. It's got the typical subgenus Tillandsia flower like the hondurensis has. And this is a seed grown, this is an offset grown magnusiana. You can see how much bigger the seed grown plant is and how it's actually really beautiful, isn't it? It's also very green. Why is that? It's green because it's wet. We watered this morning, and when you water, the trichomes get wet, and the white fuzz, those are the trichomes, they become transparent, they lay down against the epidermis, the skin of the leaf, and the chlorophyll, the green, which is what produces the energy for the plant, comes through and you see the green chlorophyll. So if this was dry, it would be a fuzzy, silvery color like the other magnusiana is, but I just wanted to show you a difference between a seed grown and an offset grown, between a plant that's wet and a plant that's dry. How's that? Okay. Another really beautiful hybrid that we have, not very many. We had a lot and then we sold them, so not so many now. This is called Tillandsia majestic, and this is a hybrid of Chiapensis and concolor. And you can see the spikes are tall, they're bright red, and they last for a long time. So this is a clump with a half a dozen plants on it. It came from a mother plant. And now each of these plants will in turn produce a group of offsets. So a year from now, this could be a big ball, and they all could be blooming, and that would be spectacular, because this is spectacular. All right. Another plant that's interesting is Tillandsia. Latin would be Harisi, and in English we'd say Harrisi. And this one is named after my old corporate partner, or our old corporate partner, Jerry Robinson and me and Bill Harris, formed Rainforest Flora back in 1976. And Bill had a company called Tropi Maya. And this was a new plant that was discovered in Guatemala, and it was named after Bill. So this is Tillandsia Harisi, and again you can see there's a difference in the size. That's a variation just with the different plants. You can have a midget, Billy Barty, you can have somebody, there's a person on one side, and then you could have, Kareem on the other side. So plants vary in size, shape, color, and size within a given species. So this is a smaller, rare species from Mexico. This is called Tillandsia elizabethae. I don't know which Elizabeth it was named for, but Tillandsia elizabethae is from northern Mexico, the Sonoran Desert. It grows in very harsh conditions. This one takes a lot of sun, a lot of heat, and a lot of dryness. Tillandsia elizabethae. And on a small side, here are 3 little Tillandsias. I'll turn them around for you. Tillandsia globosa. It's just finished flowering, so it doesn't have any flowers out right now. They're sort of a pink color, but it's a beautiful little species. This one is much in demand and very rare, Minas Gerais, named after the state of Minas Gerais in Brazil. It's a small plant with a beautiful orange inflorescence and white flowers. And this one in my left hand is a form of Tillandsia stricta. It doesn't look like a whole lot like a stricta, but this was given to me by Professor Werner Rau, the famous late German bromeliad taxonomist and scientist, and he gave me this plant back in the 70s. So it's a really interesting, much more lepidote, which means fuzzy. The leaves are more erect, they're more straight up and down growing rather than spreading, growing sideways like a normal stricta. But look how silver the leaves are versus the green that most strictas are. So that's a Tillandsia stricta form. And this is a really nice newly named cultivar hybrid of crocata, which has very fragrant yellow flowers, and Tillandsia malamonti, which has less fragrant but very nicely fragrant blue flowers. And this is called Jamie's Joy, and it's really great. The fragrance on this one is spectacular, and the plant itself in a couple of years will turn into an absolutely gorgeous ball. Another one, very rare, called Tillandsia horsti. I assume that Mr. Horst is a German who went out and found a new species to have named after himself. And it has a very beautiful inflorescence. A dark rose colored here with dark purple flowers. And these flowers are typical for subgenus Anaplophytum. Subgenus Anaplophytum has smaller flowers than, say, subgenus Tillandsia. And the stigma, the white stigma that sticks out, and the yellow stamens with the anthers, the pollen, are included down inside the throat of the flower. That's what defines Anaplophytum. The stricta that I just showed you, the globosa, the Minas Gerais, these three are also in subgenus Anaplophytum. This is another subgenus Tillandsia plant, Tillandsia victoria, and we call this one orange. It's a larger growing form. The leaves, the trichomes are more coarse, and the upper part of the plant turns this beautiful orange color, and you can see the subgenus Tillandsia flowers, and you can contrast those with the subgenus Anaplophytum flowers. This is an amazing hybrid. This is called Sister Teresa, which we used to have a fair number of, and now for us again is very rare because they all sold. But this is a gorgeous hybrid of Tillandsia intermedia and Tillandsia caput medusa. And you can see the combination, if you know the plants, you can see the combination of the two parents in this one very clearly. And you can see how the leaves recurve, absolutely gorgeous. And you could grow this one, as with all the pseudobulbous types, those are the ones that have the big bases. You can grow it upside down, you can grow it sideways, irrespective of gravity. And in nature, they often grow actually upside down, especially intermediate. Here we have a spectacular hybrid called Stupendo. And Stupendo is a hybrid of Houston, which itself is a hybrid of Stricta and what's Stricta? Let's see. Houston is Stricta and Recurvifolia. Takes a minute. There's so many. But Stricta and Recurvifolia is a hybrid called Houston. You take Houston and you cross that with Leonamiana, which has an orange inflorescence with white flowers, and Houston has a sort of a rose-colored inflorescence with more white flowers, and, well, blue too, because these are blue. This has the Stricta influence in it, but you can see how white the plant is and how beautiful and large the inflorescence is. So this is Tillandsia Stupendo. And then over here, we have three very nice specimens of Tillandsia concolor. And this one has not started to flower yet, but you can see it has a lot of red in the leaves. And this one has some red in the leaves and a lot of yellow gold color as well. And this one is starting to flower, and you can see here is today's flower. It's a beautiful sort of metallic magenta color, and the yellow anthers is the yellow pollen on the anthers, and then the white stigma. This was yesterday's flower. The flowers last for a day. This one got pollinated, and so that shows you from one day to the next how the flowers can go. This is a very nice concolor. It's smaller. Again, they vary in size, shape, color, and size. And so this is a smaller one, and it would cost less. So when you buy Tillandsias, a lot of times, you know, if you're sophisticated, you'll want to get, you know, maybe get something that's better. Maybe it costs a little more, but then you've got it. Or if money is an issue, then you get something smaller and you grow it and hope the offsets get bigger. So any way you want to do it, there are varieties or sizes or shapes within a given species that increase or decrease its value. Here is a spectacular hybrid. This is one that, you know, a lot of people want, and it's just uber rare. And this one is called Regal Rene. Regal Rene was named after Rene Legendre in Shreveport, Louisiana, and it is a hybrid of Streptophila and Ailersiana, and it's absolutely gorgeous. And to wrap up, wow! Here is a Tillandsia top of the line. And this is Capitata Marrone by Fasciculata. And it's, again, another one that's rare, and it's probably 20-25 years old anyway from a seed. But you can see it has a shape more of a Fasciculata. The Capitatas also have a shape like this, a rosette shape. The leaves grow around in a circle, but the leaves are much more stiff, like the Fasciculata. The plant is much larger, like the Fascic, but the color of Capitata Marrone transfers over here, and so you've got this beautiful color in the leaves. And the inflorescence is spectacular as well. Sometimes they're much more colorful even than this. So, Tillandsia top of the line. Now, I'm trying to get in the habit of mentioning our website at rainforestflora.com, where we have over 700 different kinds of Tillandsias available. I also would like to mention the book again. This is, if you get hooked on these plants and you really want to learn a lot more about them, this is the way to do it. There's just so much information in here. I'm trying to do this. There's a picture of top of the line right there. And there's just an awful lot of information about the plants, how they grow, where they grow, and all of that. And the pictures, as you can see, are pretty nice. So we also have a booklet. The booklet is 32 pages that has all the concise information you need to learn about and grow the plants. Here's a booklet right here. I think these are like $6 or $7. They're not particularly expensive. So this is a good way to, as an introduction, to learn about the plants. So there you go, everybody. Hope you enjoyed this, and we'll see you next time.
Rainforest Flora Incorporated